And we are also ready to accompany this process of providing support and assistance in all three regions of northern Ethiopia, Afar, Amhara, and Tigray, that have been affected by the conflict, to help people rebuild their lives. It is time for the schools to reopen and hospitals to be supplied to provide medical treatment and relief, and also prepared to have commercial activity resume in earnest to strengthen and grow the economy. This is the time for the international community to come together and support Ethiopia in its efforts to repair and replace damaged infrastructure and rebuild and restore what has been lost. And we should be ready to make our contributions to this process. And finally, we would wish to thank the two delegations for the willingness to come to this agreement, and we commit to support the federal government and the regions affected as best as we can. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. At this point, I have the singular honor to invite Her Excellency Dr. Naledi Pandor, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of South Africa. Dr. Pandor.
Your Excellency, Chair of the Facilitation Panel, former President of Obasanjo, Your Excellencies, former President of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and former Deputy President of South Africa, former Deputy President Mzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, members of delegations of the federal government of Ethiopia, and those of the Tigray People's Liberation Front, officials from the African Union, senior officials from the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, distinguished observers, members of the media, I am the most relieved person in this room. When the African Union approached our office on the possibility of South Africa serving as host to a round of peace talks, I must admit I was initially extremely reluctant. And my response to the African Union was, I have to think about it. And after I've thought about it, I have to approach President Ramaphosa. When I spoke to President Ramaphosa, he said, of course, Minister, we cannot decline. It is a duty that South Africa must assume and undertake, right up to the logical conclusion of peace. So, colleagues have to thank President Ramaphosa because I was very nervous. Allow me to welcome, on behalf of the people and the government of South Africa, the successful negotiation of this cessation of hostilities agreement between the federal government of Ethiopia and the Tigray People's Liberation Front. We extend our congratulations to the leaders on both sides. For us, this agreement signals a commitment to ending the use of force to settle differences and disputes, and confirms the correctness of our own country's principled policy position that political differences are best resolved through meaningful dialogue and diplomacy. This agreement also underscores the importance that the leaders on both sides have attached to the lives of their people, including to the fighting forces, to their families, to women in their communities, as well as to the suffering children of war. The message that comes out of these talks is clear. There are no winners in war, and wars do not solve problems. Invariably, the underlying reasons for conflict will persist unless they are resolved through dialogue. The use of force serves to destroy lives, livelihoods, infrastructure, and to merely prolong human suffering. This is why, as South Africa, we've always urged the African Union that as a continent, we must give much more focused attention to preventative interventions, structures, and mechanisms. Peace building is much more difficult than waging a war. The real heroes are those who work toward building peace and sustaining it. We therefore humbly call on the leaders of both sides to continue to work toward maintaining this peace through implementing the agreement in full, as they have committed to do in front of us. The engagement to build stability, to sustain peace, must continue in Ethiopia and lead to the securing of an enduring peace. We are honored as South Africa to have been the host for these talks, and we are keen to provide further support to the African Union, working closely with the facilitation team to ensure that peace is indeed maintained in our sister country, Ethiopia. It is absolutely imperative that we thank the facilitators and the observers for the hard work that has been undertaken. We thank His Excellency, President Olusegun Obasanjo, His Excellency, former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Her Excellency, former Deputy President Umzile Mlambo. We also thank colleagues of the African Union Commission and all the observers, as well as the resource personnel who have helped steer the talks. It is our hope as the people and government of South Africa that we are very soon going to be enjoying a celebration with the people of Ethiopia, and indeed with all the people of Africa, because this agreement offers the hope that it is possible that as Africans we can silence the guns throughout the continent. Our President, President Ramaphosa, has directed me to congratulate all of you and to confirm his government and our country's readiness to continue playing any positive role that you may wish us to play. We are heartily encouraged by this example, and we are indeed really privileged and honored that this first sign that our path, our walk to silencing the guns is probably a successful one. We are absolutely privileged that that path and walk has begun here in South Africa. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Excellencies, President Obasanjo, President Uhuru Kenyatta. This brings us to one of the most important and critical points in today's signing ceremony. The parties, Excellencies, have agreed to issue a joint statement, and as a demonstration of their commitment and the bonds that bind them as brothers and sisters, is a two-page document with 12 paragraphs. They have divided them evenly and will have Ambassador Redwood from Metro read the first part of the joint statement, and that will be followed by Mr. Getachew Reda, which will bring us to the signing ceremony. So without further ado, I would like to call on Ambassador Redwood for the first part of the joint statement between the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Ambassador, over to you, please.
Thank you, Dr. Mark. In fact, I often get that during the first page, but you delegated me to begin, so I will happily begin reading. Joint statement between the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF. As per Article 3 of the Agreement for Lasting Peace and Permanent Cessation of Hostilities, the representatives of the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the TPLF have agreed to announce to the people of Ethiopia and the rest of the world that after 10 days of intensive negotiations have concluded a peace agreement. Second, we've agreed to permanently silence the guns and end the 2 years of conflict in northern Ethiopia. Three, the conflict has brought a tragic degree of loss of lives and livelihoods, and it is in the interest of the entire people of Ethiopia to leave the chapter of conflict behind and live in peace and harmony. Fourth, it is fundamental that we reaffirmed our commitment to safeguarding the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ethiopia and to upholding the Constitution of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Thus, Ethiopia has only one national defense force. We've also agreed on the detailed program of disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration for the TPLF combatants, taking into account the security situation on the ground. Fifth, we've agreed that the government of Ethiopia will further enhance its collaboration with humanitarian agencies to continue expediting aid to all those in need of assistance. Six, we've agreed to implement transitional measures that include the restoration of constitutional order in Tigray region, a framework for the settlement of political difference, and a transitional justice policy framework to ensure accountability, truth, reconciliation, and healing.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Roman. Mr. Getachew.
So, to start implementing these undertakings without delay, we are agreed to stop all forms of conflicts and hostile propaganda. We only make statements to support the expeditious implementation of the agreement. We urge Ethiopians in the country and abroad to support this agreement, stop voices of division and hate, and mobilize their resources for economic recovery and rehabilitation of social bonds. 8. The government of Ethiopia will continue the efforts to restore public services and rebuild the infrastructures of communities affected by the conflict. Students must go to school, farmers and pastoralists to their fields, public servants to their offices. The agreement requires the support of the public for its smooth implementation. This is a new and hopeful chapter in the history of the country. 9. We express our gratitude to all actors contributing to the success of this endeavor, in particular, the African Union Commission Chairperson, the African High-Level Panel led by His Excellency former President Olusegun Obasanjo, supported by His Excellency former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Her Excellency Dr. Fumuzile Mlambo, former Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa. We thank the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mr. Musa Faki Mohammed, Commissioner Bankole Adoye, and his colleagues for their tireless work during these talks. We rely on their continued support as we implement the agreement. 10. We thank His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of the Republic of South Africa, and Her Excellency Dr. Naledi Pandor, the Minister for the Department of International Relations and Cooperation of South Africa, for the excellent facilities they put at the disposal of these talks and their words of encouragement to the parties toward the successful results. We are indebted for the hospitality accorded to us by the people and government of the Republic of South Africa. 11. We are grateful to the people of Ethiopia for encouraging these talks and patiently waiting for the outcome. We are confident that they will embrace the results of these talks and ensure their timely implementation. 12. Finally, we are confident that friends of Ethiopia and members of the diplomatic community will lend their support in rebuilding infrastructure in affected communities and economic recovery of the country. We call on all types of media outlets to support peace, reconciliation, unity, and prosperity in Ethiopia. Jointly delivered at Pretoria, the Republic of South Africa, 2nd November 2020.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Redwan and Getachew. Excellencies, with your permission and that of the Minister, may we give them a round of applause. Excellencies, at this point, we now have the formal signing ceremony. So we'll bring the table to the front, and I would like to invite Mr. Detasi Reda and Ambassador Redman, they can come to the table for the signing of this very important peace agreement. document of the agreement, and they will be distributed as follows. 2 copies. One copy each will be given to the representative of the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Another copy will be given to the representative of the federal government of the Democratic Republic of Ethiopia in Uganda. Another copy will be given to His Excellency President Olusegun Obasanjo, the High Representative for the Horn of Africa, and the chair of the panel. Another copy will be given to His Excellency Dr. Naledi Pandor, the Minister of International Cooperation for the Republic of South Africa. And then the final and 5th copy I will keep. I'll have to take this back to my bosses in Addis, to the chairperson of the African Union Commission. Thank you very much, Excellencies. At this point, Excellencies, we would also like to invite both Ambassador Redwan and Mr. Getachew to initiate the joint statement that they read out. So if you can initiate the joint statement, we'll appreciate that. Thank you. We'll start with Getachew, and you go to Ambassador Redwan. Thank you very much. A copy of that statement will also be submitted to President Obasanjo and the panel, and the 2 delegations will get identical copies of the same document. Excellencies, at this point, this brings us to the session with the media, and what we have agreed with the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. This particular session will be moderated by their Director of Communications, Mr. Clayson. And what we agreed was the questions will be exclusively directed to the panel and not the delegations. And I think we'll encourage Mr. Clayson to make sure that all questions are directed to the panel and Dr. Naledi Pandor, but not the delegations. Over to you, Mr. Clayson.
Thank you very much, Excellencies. So we do 3 questions. One point, please start. There's a roving microphone there, please introduce yourself first.
My name is Sophie Mukwena from the South African Broadcasting Corporation. My question relates to women. I see men in ties and suits, no woman. One thing that the UN spoke about is that you will not have a lasting solution in terms of peace if you exclude the majority of the population. And in this case, you are talking about women. Why? And lastly, for peace to hold, you have to monitor and ensure that those who have a hand in fueling the conflict are on board. What's going to happen to Eritrea that's being accused of meddling in the affairs of Ethiopia? And the Ethiopian government also saying that there are international forces that are meddling in Ethiopia's affairs. Thank you.
Juanita?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Juanita Hunter from News 24 in South Africa. There has been a description of these talks today as being very tense over the past few days. If you can just give us an indication of what were some of the sticking points that threatened these talks from collapsing. And secondly, As part of this agreement, will the federal government reverse its decision to designate TPLF as a terror group? If any one of the members of the panel can please shed light on that. Thank you very much.
Let's go to Reuters. That'll be the last question for this round. There's a microphone right there.
Two quotes from Reuters. My understanding of this agreement is that you've agreed to stop shooting each other, but obviously there's a lot of questions about what else needs to be agreed upon. I wondered if you could, if either delegation could talk about what still needs to be agreed and whether any progress has been made on that before you have a kind of full-blown political settlement. Thank you.
The first question is about women, probably as part of delegates, and how much is the interest of women and children. Just read part of Article 4, which talks of protection of civilians. The parties shall protect the human rights of the civilian population and commit to holding applicable international humanitarian law instruments to which Ethiopia is party. The parties shall in particular condemn any act of sexual and gender-based violence, any act of violence against children, girls, women, and the elderly, including recruitment and conscription of child soldiers and support family reunification. Although, and of course, in the panel, we will say we have a distinguished lady, not do we have a lady who was the deputy president of this great country, that is also a member of the panel in the AU, and her contribution into the content, particularly protections of women and children and the vulnerable, was tremendous. As far as delegation is concerned, I will not be able to say anything about that. The other question, again, remember, is that, look, what were the sticky points? President, I think you better attempt that, and then you come up and say a little bit about it. And President Okuru, you also talked a little bit about what was that election. It's part of the question.
Thank you, President. The points that came out or that were read out are only very general remarks about what the document contains. But I think the two parties put in a lot of effort, especially when it came to laying out the principles and the objectives of this agreement. It goes into quite a bit of detail as to how disarmament will happen. It also talks a lot about humanitarian access, resumption of services throughout the country or throughout the affected areas, It talks about the process of reintegrating the Tigray region into the federal government. It talks about the return to constitutional order. It talks about the fact that disputes will be resolved politically and not through the guns anymore. It goes further and talks about processes and how women and children and civilians would be treated. But as has been stated, this is not all that needs to be done. We've gone through, for example, how this agreement shall be monitored and verified. The devil will be in the implementation, but it is our strong belief that from the commitment that we have seen from the two parties, they will deliver. And we, as the panel, plus our partners, stand ready to assist and will be part of the verification and monitoring process. The agreement, because it is between two parties, talks about their commitment to resolving the problems of Ethiopia as Ethiopians, and the fact that no party will engage in activities that are detrimental to the other. It talks about the ENDF being the only national army of Ethiopia and its duty and responsibility to safeguard the territorial integrity of Ethiopia. So that again lays out quite clearly that this is an Ethiopian problem to be resolved by Ethiopians. So we still have a lot of work to do in terms of beginning the political process. But the most important thing is the unwritten. And the unwritten is the building of trust and confidences between all parties concerned, and the recognition that the solution to the problems of Ethiopia lie in the hands of the people of Ethiopia. We are here to assist them in that process. And all we can ask and call for is any destructive force from whatever part that seeks to destabilize this process, either from within or from without, should take note that the people of Ethiopia now desire peace and now desire to resolve their internal issues through peaceful means. So I think that is what I want to say. Madam Kumzeli, I don't know if you'd like to add something.
Yes, thank you. But I would just like to say that the main thing about this agreement is the silencing of guns. And it is also about ensuring that we stop the killing. We were very much aware throughout the negotiations about the importance of stopping the killing. And this is what we are hoping for as we announce this agreement. Also, Ethiopia is a complex country. These two parties are not the only two groups that are relevant for peace to happen in Ethiopia. So we are entrusting them with the responsibility of going back home to socialize this agreement, to make it acceptable, to ensure that many more people embrace and accept this agreement. We know that they cannot convince every single Ethiopian, so we will learn to work with others who may have some concerns about this agreement. And that is why the support of the international community and everyone else who wish peace for Ethiopia is going to continue to be important. We need to accompany them for them to fulfill their task as best as possible. On the issue of women, indeed, I think we're committed to each other on the side as the panelists that will ensure that we always have women in our teams as we move forward, and nudged the colleagues on both sides to do the same. One of the parties has already promised me that in the next time we meet, we will see suits and skirts, and I hope it's not going to be difficult to make sure that both parties will do the same, because that is important. Lasting peace, as has been shown, comes when there is inclusion and diversity, and this peace is not going to be an exception. Thank you.
Excellency President Basanjo, President Uhuru Kenyatta, this brings us to the end of the engagement with the media. I would also like, I think, once again, on behalf of the Chair of the Commission, to extend our sincere gratitude to you, but more importantly also to Dr. Naledi Bando and the government and people of South Africa for the warm hospitality and the facilities that is at our disposal. The final order of business that we want to do now, I would like to invite Ambassador Redmond and Getachew to join the panel here for a group photo. And after that, I would like to invite their delegations, all of them, to join for a bigger family photo. So we'll start with Getachew and Ambassador Redmond to join the panel here, and Dr. Naledi Bando. And they will be followed by members of their team. And I would also like to invite the three observers, Dr. Wokne, Madam Tete, and Mike, to subsequently join the group photo. Excellencies, may I crave your indulgence and ask if you could come in front of the tables? I think that would be, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I now invite the other members of the delegations to join. General Sabgan, the Guardian, please.
Guys.
Thank you very much. May I now invite the three observers, Dr. Wokne, Madam Tete, and Mike Hammer, to join. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Please. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we remain in that formation, and then the observers will join at the African Union as well. The observers at the African Union. Thank you very much. May I now humbly also request I think we are done with the group photo with the observers. Do we have a photo? Excellencies, I think I owe it to my team. They've worked so hard. May I request a special photo for my team and the panel and the two heads of delegations, and later on everyone else to join. This is a humble request. So can I call on my team, Ambassador Farah and others, if you can come to join this family photo. Thank you.
ጤና ይስጥልኝ አድማጮቻችን። እንግዲህ ያው ዋናው ነገር እንግዲህ ሰምተነዋል አይደል? እውነተኛው ዲቴል እና ይሄ ነገር እውነት ስራ ላይ እንዴት ይውላል የሚለውን ነው እንግዲህ ማየት ያለብን። የሚለው ያለ አንደኛ ኢትዮጵያኖች ናቸው። ያ ማለት ህገ መንግስቱ ትገዛለህ ነው፣ በቃ ሌላ አይደለም። ባጭሩ አቋጠር አድርገው ሌላ ምንም ነገር የለም። በህገ መንግስቱ ትሄዳላችሁ ነው የሚለው። እንግዲህ ያ ግን እውነተኛ እንዴት ሊሆን ይችላል ማለትስ ተግባር ላይ እንዴት ሊሆን ይችላል ነው እንግዲህ ዋናው። እኔ የማስበው ያ ነው። ሌላ ምንም የምለው ነገርስ የለም። ግን እንዴት ሊሆን ይችላል፣ በተግባርስ ሊውል ይችላል ወይ የሚለው ያለን እንገራችሁ። በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ሁለት አርሚ የለም፣ አንድ አርሚ ነው። ያ ማለት ምን ማለት ነው? ያ ማለት ህገ መንግስቱ ነው። ለዛም ነው ትናንትናም ስናገረው የነበረው እና ኢትዮጵያ የሚለው ነገር አሁን የሚገርመኝ ለምንድን ነው እኛ ተበድለናል፣ ጄኖሳይድ የተወሰደብን ህዝቦች ለፍርድ ይቅረቡ ማለት ሲገባን እንደገኛ ትጥቃችንን እንፈታለን እስከተወሰነ ድረስ ከተሟላለን ማለት እኔ እንጃ። ተግባር ላይ ሊሆን እንደማይችል አውቀዋለሁ። ይሄ ወረቀት ላይ ያለ ነው። ይህንን ወደንም አልወደንም፣ አዎ ምን በልንም ምን አልንም ምንም የምናደርገው ነገር የለም ማለቴስ፣ አዎ ግን ተግባር ላይ ሊሆን አይችልም። ከነ አብይና ከነ ኢሳይያስ ጋር ተማምነህ፣ አዎ ግን ይሄ እንደሚወርቅ እናውቃለን። ራሳቸው ነው የሚጥሉት። በሌላ አኳኋን እንጃ። ድርድሩ ደግሞ የሚለው በቲፒኤልኤፍ እና በኢትዮጵያ በትግራይ ህዝብ አይደለም። ከመጀመሪያው ትልቁ ውድቀት እዛ ላይ ነው። በቃ እንዴ ድርድር ሂዶ ኖ ይሄ ቲፒኤልኤፍ አይደለም። በአሁኑ ሰዓት ላይ ያለው ብዙ ድርጅቶች አሉ፣ ሁሉ ትግራይ ነው። እና ቲፒኤልኤፍ የሚሉትን ነገሮች አውጡት ማለት እኮ ይችሉ ነበር። ለምን አላሉ? አሁን ዓለም ምን ይሰጣል? 27 ዓመት ቁጭ ብለው አሁንም ደግሞ እንግዛ ነው የሚሉት ያለ የሚለውን ፐርሴፕሽን በሰው አይምሮ አለ ማለት ነው፣ ወይም በዓለም አይምሮ አለ ማለት ነው። ከዛ ቀለል ነው ብዙ ነገሮች አሉ። ዋናው እኔ ምንም አላስገረመኝም፣ ለምን ተግባር ላይ እንደማይውል አውቀዋለሁ። ከነ አብይ ዛሬ ተናግረው እንትን የሚሉ ወረቀት ምንም ጉዳይ የለው። የእንግሊዝ በሁለተኛ ዓለም ጦርነት ከእንግሊዝ ጠቅላይ ሚኒስትር የነበረው ከዊንስተን ቸርችል በፊት የነበረው ማለት ነው ሂትለር ጋር ሂዶ ወረቀት አስፈርሜው መጣሁ ብሎ ወረቀት እንዲች ዝል እያለ ገብቶ ነበር። ያ ወረቀት ግን አልሰራም። አሁንም ደግሞ ማየት ያለብን ባጭሩ እውነቴን እንገራችሁ፣ ሌላው ሰው ቂንጣሚንጢ ሊያወጣለት ይችላል። ይሄ ድርድሩ በ12 በ13 ምናምን ሊለው ይችላል። በአጠቃላይ አንደኛ ሙሉ በሙሉ ኢትዮጵያኖች ነን። የኢትዮጵያን ህገ መንግስት እንከተላለን ነው በቃ። በቃ ነው። በኢትዮጵያ ህገ መንግስት ከሆንክ ደግሞ ሁለት አርሚ የለም እና አንደኛው እንዴት አድርገን ነው ዲስአርም የምናደርገው? ፕሮሰሱ እንዴት ይጀምራል? እንዴት አድርገን ነው ቨሪፋይ የሚደረገው ነው? እንግዲህ በሁሉ ነገር በኃይል አንችል። ልንገራችሁ ግን እውነት ይናገራል፣ ብዙ ሰዎች ሊከፋችሁ ይችላል። ትግራዋይ ጀግና ነው በጦርነት በምን ግን እዚህ ላይ ቲፒኤልኤፍ ከዚህ በፊት ባድሜን አልጀርስ ላይ ሂዶ አስረክቧል። ይሄ ምንም የምታደርጉት ነገር ካሸነፈ፣ አሁን ደግሞ እነዚህ ጠላቶች ራሳችን እንዲጨቅንቃቸው እያለ እዚህ ቦታ መጥቶ አዘ ቲፒኤልኤፍ መደራደሩ ራሱ የትግራይን ህዝብ መናቅ ነው። ከመጀመሪያው አዝ ቲፒኤልኤፍ ብለህ መደራደር ራሱ የትግራይን ህዝብ መናቅ ነው። ከዛ በኋላ እና አብይ ህገ መንግስቱ ነው አክብረው ነበረ ኤርትራንና ሌሎችን አምጥተው ሲያደርጉልህ ይሄ ሁሉ ድሮኖች እስካሁን ድረስ ሲደበደብ አሜሪካ እኮ ያውቃል። ሊያቆመዎችን ነበር እኮ በተለይ እነ ዩናይትድ አረብንና ቱርክን አሁን ሲሸነፉ ነገሩ እንደማያዋጣው ቀን ተሰጧቸው። አሜሪካ ራሱ ሰጧቸው ነበር። ይሄን ወቁት እንግዲህ ሲአይኤ ሰጧቸው ነበር የተወሰነ ቀን ግድብ። ያን ቅድብ ላይና እንደማያሸንፉ ስለታወቀ ነው እዚህ ድርድር ላይ መጡት። ድርድሩ ወቁት። እኔ ምንም ብዙ እንትን አለው ግን በአጠቃላይ ሳመራይዝድ ላድርግላችሁ። በህገ መንግስቱ እንገዛለን። ህገ መንግስቱ ደግሞ ሁለት አርሚ የለውም፣ አንድ አርሚ ነው። ያ ማለት ምን ማለት ነው? ይሄን ነው የከተቱን። መልሰው ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ወሸቁን። የትግራይን ይሄ ሁሉ ያለፈበት እንደገና ሌላ ነገር ሽረው እንዴት እንደሚያጠፉን የሚያስቡበት ቦታ ላይ ነው የሰጠናቸው። ጊዜን ስጣችሁ። ግን ጥሩነቱ ተግባር ላይ አይሆንም። አብይ ሌባ ነው፣ ኢሳያስ ሌባ ነው። አሁን ሲቀጣጠፉ እና ያው ደግሞ ያላችሁ እኮ ያው ተኩሱ ይቁም ነው። ይሄን አውቃችሁታል። ተኩስ ይቆማል። በህገ መንግስት እንገዛለን። በኋላ ነገሩ ቨሪፋይ እየተደረገ ትጥቃችን እንፈታለን። ነገሩ ማለት በአንድ ጊዜ ጥፈት አይደለም፣ ግን ነገሩ ቨሪፋይ እየተደረገ ለምንድን ነው ቨሪፋይ የሚደረገው? ኋላ ትክክል በአጠቃላይ በህገ መንግስቱ እንገዛለን ማለት ትክክል አይደለም። ያ ህገ መንግስት አበቃ። ያ ህገ መንግስት ለትግራይ የሚጠቅም ህገ መንግስት አይደለም። የተሳሳተ ህገ መንግስት ነው። ብዙ ጊዜ ለማጆሪቲ የሚሆን ህገ መንግስት ነው። ለ6 ሚሊዮን ተጋሩ የሚሆን ከ120 የሚሆን ህገ መንግስት አይደለም። ይሄ እንደገና በሱ እገዛለሁ ማለት ወይም በሱ እንመራለን ብሎ መፈራረም ስራ ላይ ይውላል ወይ ነው። ዋናው ነገር ስራው ላይ ይውላል ወይ ነው። ራሳቸው ያፈርሱታል። እና አብይ አህመድ አንድ ነገር፣ እና ኢሳያስ አንድ ነገር። ኢሳያስስ በዚህ ባለ ሁሉ ነገር ሊስማማ ነው? አይ አይመስልም። ግን ሂደው ኢትዮጵያኖች ነን፣ ሌላስ የኢትዮጵያን ህገ መንግስት እናከታለን፣ ሌላስ ትጥቃችን በተገቢ ሁኔታ ጊዜውን ጠብቆ አዎ ኢትዮጵያ አንድ አርሚ ነው ሊኖራት የሚችለው፣ ሁለት አርሚ ሊኖራት አይችልም። ሁልጊዜ እኮ የምንነጋገረው ነው። እንደዚህ ነው ተባብለው ያሉት። እንግዲህ ባጭሩ ሌሎች ኢንዲቴል አለ። አዎ ይሄ ነገር እንዴት አድርጎ ኢምፕሊሜንት ይሆናል፣ ተግባር ላይ ይውላል፣ ይሄ ነገር ሁሉም የየራሱ ኤክስኪዩዝ አለው። የኢትዮጵያም መንግስት ቢሆን ለራሱ ህዝቡ የሚያወራቸው አለ። አይ እንደዚህ ለምን አረክ፣ እንደዚህ ነው የትግራይ ከእንግዲህ ደግሞ የትግራይ እንዳንል በእናታችሁ ቲፒኤልኤፍ እንደተደራደረው ማለት አለበት። ትግራይ የምትለው ትግራይ መሬት ላይ ወድቆ ሲታኮስ ሲሞት የትግራይ ህዝብ ይጠራል። ለድርድር ግን አይጠራም። ኦንሊ ቲፒኤልኤፍ እና አጋሮቻቸው ያ ነው የሚሆኑት ያለ። አሁን ትንሽ ልክ ማር በመቀባት ይሄ እኮ ያልነው ይሄ አይሰራም፣ ዋናው ህገ መንግስት እገዛለሁ ብልሃል፣ በቃ ለሱ ፈርማ። ዛን ነው ማይሆን። በዚህ ህገ መንግስት ደግሞ ሁለት አርሚ የለም ብልሃል፣ እንደገና ተኩሱ ማቆም። አገር ተወራ፣ እንዴት ነው ተኩሱን ታቆሙ? ኖ መልሼ አገር ክልል ሰጥህ ትጥቅህን አውርድ። ምዕራብ ትግራይ አይደለም እንዴ? አሁን የሚደረገው ያለ ደቡብ ትግራይስ? ሁሉ ጊዜ በህገ መንግስቱ ነው። ተው ህገ መንግስቱ ታሪካዊ ትግራይ ብለው ነው መከራከር መቻል የነበረባቸው። አዎ ኤምክን ሃይ አድርገህ ከመጣህ አትሊስት የምትደረገ። እነሱ ግን ትግራይ የተፈጠረችው ልክ የሚመስላቸው ቲፒኤልኤፍ ከመጣ በኋላ ነው። ከዛ በፊት አውርተው ታሪኩንም ሊያወሩት አይፈልጉም። አዎ ጃንሆይ ቆራርጦ አድርጓን ነበር። አዎ ከዛ በፊት ግን በ1948 በግዕዝ አቆጣጠር ትግራይ እስከየት ነበረች ወሰኗ? ተው 48 ያን ብሎ ያንን የመከራከያ ስፕሪንግ አድርገው መቅረብ ችሎታ የሌላቸው ሰዎች ናቸው። ለዛም ነው ሁሉ ነገር ህገ መንግስቱ ነው የሆነው። በቃ ሌላ አይደለም። ባጭሩ ማንም ሊያታልላችሁ እንደዚህ ነው ቅንጦ ወይ ይሄ እኮ ከሆነ ይሄን ሳደረጉ ነው። ነገሩ በተግባር ላይ አይውልም። እውነቱን እንገራቸው። ጦርነቱ ያቆማል ነው አያቆምም። ግን ይሄን ብሎ ማሰባቸው እኔ ይገርመኛል። ከእንግዲህ ደግሞ ቲፒኤልኤፍ ትግራይን አይወክልም ማለትም ይችላል እኮ። ለምን የሚዋጋው ቲዲኤፍ ሁሉ እኮ ቲፒኤልኤፍ አይደለም፣ የድሮ አይነት አይደለም። ልክ ነው። በ17 ዓመት ጊዜ ቲፒኤልኤፍ የሚባል ድርጅት ወታደሩን ቲፒኤልኤፍ ነበረ። የአሁኑ እኮ አይደለም። ይሄ ገብቷቸዋል ወይ? እና ድርድሩ ሁሉ ጊዜ በቃ በኢትዮጵያና በቲፒኤልኤፍ እና አንድ አርሚ ነው። ኢቭን ድሮን እየተሰጣቸው ከሌላ አገር ሁሉ እየተመሩ ሌላ አገር እኳ ኢትዮጵያን አትርዳ የሚል የለም። የትግራይ ግን ምን አይነት ኤኒዌይ ቆጥሮ የሰጠን የለም። እኔ እንግዲህ የምላቸው የሆነ ነገር ጥሩ ነው። ኤኒዌይ ግን ስንት መሳሪያ እንዳለን ስንት ጥይት እንዳለን ቆጥሮ የሰጠን የለም። በኃይላችን የመነጨቅ ነው ስለሆነ እንዲያውም እነሱ ተናግረዋል። ለ10 አንድ ጠበንጃ ነው ያላቸው ነው ያሉት። በቃ 30,000 የታጠቃለን፣ ከ30,000 ለ5 አካፍሉት፣ 1,000 ጠበንጃ መስጠት ነው። ያ ነው ዲስአርማመንት። ያንን ነው ማለት ያለበት። ያ ነው ደግሞ መሆን ያለበት። ራሳቸው በተናገሩት ባፋቸው ጠበንጃ የላቸውም ምን የላቸውም ብለዋል። ናስንታ ግን እኔ ይገርመኛል እውነቴን ልንገራቸው። በአጠቃላይ እንግዲህ ነገሩን እንጨርሰው። በአጠቃላይ ምንድን ነው? በህገ መንግስቱ ተገዛ ነው። ተኩስ አቁሙ በህገ መንግስቱ ነው። በቃ ሌላ ምንም ነገር የለው። የኤርትራን ጉዳይ እናያለን። ያው ኤርትራ ግን ተግባር ላይ ይውላል ወይ ነው እንግዲህ አሁን ማወራው እዚህ ላይ ደቡብ አፍሪካ ላይ የተደረገውን ብቻ ነውና ተግባር ላይስ እንዴት ሊሆን ነው? ተጋሩ ህግ እናከብራለን ህግ ይሄ በዓለም በአፍሪካ እንደዛ የሚባል ነገር የለም። ጄኖሳይድ ትግራይን ያደረጉ እንኳን ለነሱ ተጠያቂነት የሆነ የለም። አብይ አህመድ ለዛ አልሆነ። ኤርትራ 2 ዓመት ሙሉ ትግራይ ውስጥ እንደፈለገች ተጨማልቃ ኑራ ምንድነው ኮንሲኩዌንሲው የመጣባት? ይሄን አይነት ጥያቄዎች መጠየቅ አለበት። አይዟችሁ ተጋሩ። ዝም ብለን እነሱ ያውቃሉ የሚለውን ነገር ደግሞ እንተው በእናታችሁ። ንሳቶ የሚፈልጡ ኮምዚ ዝበሉ እኮ ኮምዚ ኢሎም ነው። ያ አይሰራም። ሁል ጊዜ ባለስልጣኖችን ቻሌንጅ ማድረግ መልመድ አለብን። ጌታቸው ረዳ ሁል ጊዜ ትክክል ይሆናል። ጌታቸው ረዳ ጀግናው ይላሉ። ጌታቸው ረዳ ቲፒኤልኤፍ ነው የወከለ ትግራይን አይደለም። አሁን የትግራይ ልሂቃን ነን የሚሉ ይሄ የራሳቸው ጥውዝውዝ ያመጡታል። ግን ሁሉ ጥውዝውዙን እንተውና ዋናው ነገር ምንድን ነው ሆነ ያለ እንደሚሰሙ ተኩስ ማቆምና ከዛ በኋላ በህገ መንግስቱ ሌላ ውስጥም ልገባ አልፈልግም። ህገ መንግስቱን መከተል ነው። እንግዲህ ህገ መንግስቱን ከመጀመሪያ ጀምሮ ያልተከተለ የውጭ ሀገር ጦር አምጦ ያስደበደበ ነው። ለዛስ ምን ቅጣት አለው? እንደገና ስለምንድን ነው የሚታመነው? ያንን ነው ማየት ያለብን። ተግባር ላይ እንዳይውል ነው የምናደርገው ሁላችን። የትግራይም ቲዲኤፍም ቀልድ አይደለም። ነገሮችን አይቶ መሪ ግን እንጃ እንግዲህ እሱማ እንግዲህ ድርድር ከተባለ በእስራኤልና በእንትን እኮ በ1948 ጀምረዋል። እስካሁን ድረስ ግን ድርድር ማለት ዳኝነት አይደለም። በጣም ብልጦ ኤኒዌይ እናየዋለን። ስራ ላይ መዋል የሚችል ፖለቲካ አይደለም። አብይ አይታመንም። ይሄን እናውቀዋለን። ህገ መንግስቱ ደግሞ አይሰራም። እነሱ ሲፈልጉ ህገ መንግስቱ ይሉሃል። ሲገሉ ህገ መንግስቱ ምናምን ብቻ ምንም ብዙ ማውራትም አያስፈልግም። በአጠቃላይ ተኩስና አቁም በህገ መንግስቱ ነው። ህገ መንግስቱ ምን ይላል እንግዲህ በቃ ከኢትዮጵያ ጋር መጣበቅ ነው የፈለጉት። ለምን እንደሆነ እንጃ። ራስን መቻል ለምንድን ያስፈራል? ሁሉ ነገር ሌሎች ራሽናችን እንደ ህፃን ልጅ ኢትዮጵያኖች ከእንግዲህ አምናቸው መርዝ ነው የሚሰጡ ትግራዋይ ከእንግዲህ ይህንን ወቀው። እሺ በሉ እንግዲህ የዛሬውን ፕሮግራማችን እዚህ ላይ እናቆማለን። በሰፊው ትንተናዎች ይመጣሉ። ግን ከዚህ ይሄ ምን ቢተነተን በህግ ነገርኳችሁ። ተኩስ ማቆምና በህገ መንግስቱ ነው እንግዲህ አውቃችሁታል። ህገ መንግስቱ ስላችሁ እንግዲህ አሁን አንዳንድ ልጆቻችሁ እዚህ ቦታ ክንረክብናል፣ ተግባር ላይ አይውልም። ታያላችሁ። ከ2 ቀን በኋላ ታዩታላችሁ ባይ